and welcome back to the Cover 3 podcast here on CBS Sports. That's Tom Fornelli, that's Bud Elliott, that's Danny Kanell. I'm Chip Patterson, coming to you live at youtube.com/Cover3 and everywhere you get your podcasts on demand. Thanks for hanging out. Smash that subscribe, smash that like, and come and join us in the chat, a.k.a. the Cover 3 Tailgate, where apparently Iowa State is 9-0 the past two seasons when Chip picks against them. Let's see. Wow. All right, Cyclones.
I need to see receipts on that.
Buckle up. That's what Cole in the Tailgate says. Yes, it is the best time of the week. It is Thursday. But before we get into our locks for week 6, before we even review week 5 results, we got to remind you one more time that on Friday, we are going to be in Tallahassee, Madison Social, right in the middle of college town, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Now, the event is free. All you've got to do is get in there. And if you do, we will have lots for you. We will have, of course, all of the things that you love of the Cover 3 podcast. We'll be going deeper into this game. We're giving you our locks today, but how about some props, right? You know, how about some last-minute things to look for going all over the board? Then we will have some trivia. We will have some giveaways. We want Miami fans involved too. So Miami fans, come on. Florida State fans will know you'll be there. Madison Social, 3 p.m. is when the show gets started, but we'll be hanging out all day on Friday, all around College Town before the block party gets started. Anything else? How's the pack list going? Is everybody got their cutest clothes on?
It's an easy pack for me. I'm only there for like one day. I needed one outfit.
Why stop telling people that? Yeah, I need
Does
to
Tom
see you
look
do.
good in orange and green?
I don't know.
I wonder if he's gonna get that mask, right? You know, the like that green and orange mask that'll pop up. I haven't seen that guy recently. I mean, I've seen the Garnet. Yeah, I've seen the Garnet and Gold boys. I haven't seen
the Glitter Boys.
Glitter Boys. Yeah, Glitter Boys will be in the house. We're excited about it. So come on out. Should be a lot of fun. All right, before we look ahead, we got to look back. Let's get into our week 5 results from last week. Bud Elliott, it was a 5-6 week. The wins were Ohio State -7.5, Alabama, Georgia under 52.5, traitor. Duke -5.5, Notre Dame team total over 34.5, Cincinnati, Kansas over 56.5. Took some losses on Florida State -6.5. Took Penn's loss on Penn State -3.5, LSU +1.5, Missouri first quarter -10.5, Louisville Pitt under 58, and Utah West Virginia under 48. Push City on TCU +3, and Push City on Cal Boston College over 52. Thoughts from the week?
Yeah, so the only points that UMass scored were in the first quarter. So
yeah,
good work there, UMass.
I just needed 15 minutes, man.
Dude,
come on, that's all we needed.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep kind of shoving it around here on the spreads. I'm usually much better at those than I am in money lines, and this year it's just not the case at all. Honestly, like of the ones that I lost, LSU was pretty clearly wrong side. I didn't know the right tackle was going to hurt himself in warmups and not play, but still, like it wouldn't have really mattered. I don't think Ole Miss was the correct side in that game, regardless. So I was definitely wrong there. I mean, Utah just poured it on West Virginia, so very wrong there. Louisville Pitt, I would probably bet that again. To be honest, they had the early defensive score that kind of put it in a game script that you knew you were going to be screwed there, and like it almost went under even with that. But once I saw that, I was like, all right, we're going to have Louisville in catch-up mode. This is not likely to go under. That happens sometimes. So, yeah, just need to do better.
5-6 for the week has him at 26-28 for the season. 6-4 week for me. Cash and wins on Florida State team total over 33.5. The Ohio State Washington under 52.5. The LSU Ole Miss first half under 27.5. The USC Illinois first half under 30.5. The Tennessee Mississippi State first quarter over 14. UMass first quarter plus 13.5. Taking some losses on Oregon, Penn State under 52.5, and the Alabama-Georgia over 52.5. The Auburn, Texas A&M over 52. That was a stinker pretty much from the jump. And then BYU third quarter. I don't know who else was tracking that one or if anybody tailed me, but we had a shot. Just didn't quite get the stops that we needed. Colorado gets a late score, and then to twist the knife, BYU scores early fourth quarter. But 6-4 is a winning week. We will take it. Obviously, pain there on the Oregon Penn State. You go under 52.5, goes to overtime at 17-17. Them's the breaks. Seen a lot of overtime so far this year. You end up catching that. So 6-4 for the week, 32-25 for the season. Danny, 5-5 week for you. We cashing wins on the Oregon plus 3.5, the Auburn plus 6.5. Some lock fight wins, bar fight wins for Danny Kanell. Duke minus 5.5. Walk that to the window. Over 59.5 in Florida State, Virginia. Washington, first half plus 4.5 gets it done. Taking losses on Florida State minus 6.5. USC minus 6.5, the Alabama-Georgia over 52.5, Arkansas plus 4.5, Indiana, Iowa over 47.5, and then you also caught a push on the TCU plus 3. Thoughts on the week?
The only ones that were awful, I thought, were Arkansas, taking them with 4.5, and taking the Indiana, Iowa over, trying to go for the Iowa overs there. Indiana didn't pull up their end, neither did Iowa. The Bama, Georgia over 52.5, we were all on, felt like it was going to be great at halftime, and then just came to a screeching halt. But yeah.
Can we do an early bet before this keeps getting hit? If you're watching us live, this is really annoying. Like 3 of the ones I want to bet. Florida State over 53.5 looks like it's starting to get hammered here. I know we said in yesterday's show like we want to
lock agreement.
Like,
let's go. Let's just start it off. Let the children sing.
If you're watching us live, get on that. That's not coming back.
What else? What else are we going with?
No. Whoa.
No, that's not normal course, but like we've been talking about it all week. Like if you guys tune in live, like
famous last words, by the way. You just broke decorum, and I think we'll see what ends up happening now. There's before the locks animation even rolls. We're trying to get it. That might be a cursed play now. I don't even know.
It might be.
We'll see. All right, Danny, proceed.
No, I'm good. I was like, other than that, it was crap. Whatever.
Okay, 5-5 for the week, 25-26 for the season. Tom, 6-4 week for you. Ohio State team total Ohio State team total under 30.5 as a winner. Rice Navy under 45.5 as a winner. Oregon plus 3.5 getting in on a bar fight victory. Then you also cash the Notre Dame team total over 34.5. Utah State plus 22.5. Rutgers, Minnesota over 50.5. The losses were USC minus 6.5. Alabama, Georgia over 52.5. Texas A&M minus 6.5. Eesh, tough. And Kentucky, South Carolina under 46.5.
Nothing really to complain about. Just plugging away. Credit to South Carolina's offense. They finally had a decent performance, and the loss in the Bama Georgia over hurt because that game was trending very much in that direction in the first half. But then everybody just decided to stop scoring points in the second half. So what are you gonna do?
I mean, dropped touchdown passes, fourth down stops, in scoring position. Yeah, it was tough in the evening slate, but that's all right.
Over was the right side. You guys had the right side.
But that is that 6-4 for the week. Tom Fornelli, still your leader for the season at 27-18. All right, let's get that behind us. Let's get our eyes ahead. And I ask you, gentlemen, you all ready to lock it up?
We know Bud and Danny are.
Since 2005, the under in games between service academies is 40-9-1.
We're picking locks.
Give me an over in this one as well. A little 2-for-1 special.
Get these locks.
I was a sicko last week. Y'all were watching the good games. I was live betting the hell out of ULM, Kentucky.
My Blue Plate special 5-star locks are coming.
5-star master lock. Lock it up. You want these locks.
I'm living and dying every point, every cover.
From the locking chair to your eyes and ears, and a reminder that locks are sponsored all season long by Cash App. Making money moves should be easy, and that's why there's Cash App. It's fast, safe, and honestly way more personalized than other apps out there. Our thanks to Cash App, which is the sponsor of the Cash App Trophy, which will be awarded to the season-long winner. Tom, of course, currently in first place in the chase for the Cash App Trophy. Thank you to Cash App for your support of the Cover 3 Locks this season. All right, let's begin like we always do with a look at the weeknight action. And there's a little something special that's coming your way here on Thursday night. One Thursday night college football game. It is Sam Houston at New Mexico State. You can see it on CBS Sports Network. But Tailgate, this is where we need you, okay? Because at halftime of this game on CBS Sports Network, your boys from the Cover 3 podcast will be making an appearance. We are fired up to be a part of this halftime show. So here's what we want from you. We want you, obviously, to not only be locked into Sam Houston, New Mexico State here on Thursday night on CBS Sports Network. We want you to watch the halftime show, and we want you to show us how you are watching this game, how you are watching the Cover 3 podcast on the halftime show for tonight's CUSA action. So share your setup because, look, it might be a multi-screen night. You know, maybe who you're living with doesn't understand the power of Thursday night CUSA. Maybe you got to go side screen. Maybe you're watching on the phone. Show us how you are watching the Cover 3 podcast. Share the photo and then tag Cover 3 podcast and CBS Sports Net. Again, that's CBS Sports Net and Cover 3 podcast. Take a photo of your setup of you watching the Cover 3 podcast during the halftime show of New Mexico State and Sam Houston. All right. Now, all that being said, who's got a lock?
I do.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, that's the only way I'm watching this game, to watch our little halftime ditty that we're going to have on there. This is just a follow the line. Sam Houston's 0-4. New Mexico State's 2-2. So you're thinking, oh man, New Mexico State should be a heavy favorite in this game, right? I mean, Sam Houston isn't very good, but Sam Houston, we're going to see that kid that was just dunked on by Arch Manning, embarrassed, humiliated. He is highly motivated now. Give me Sam Houston, lay the 1.5. Come on.
Ooh.
I've got more on this later. I'm not going to. Go ahead, Tom.
My Twitter tip is New Mexico State. I'm not going to get into a fight with you about it because
fight.
No, I'm going to be on a plane during
weekend.
this game. I'm going to be in a plane. So it's like, I'm not going to be able to just yell at you online while I'm kicking your ass. So there's really no fun for it.
I've got more on this game a little bit later. You know, I'm not even playing around with points here. We want winners. All right, let's go on to Friday night. A 5-pack of games. Western Kentucky, Delaware, with a little bit more CUSA action in the American. Charlotte visits South Florida. New Mexico, San Jose State, Mountain West. BYU welcomes in West Virginia, and San Diego State hosts Colorado State. Me? You? Anybody else jumping on this?
I've got nothing.
Okay. All right. Number one, guys, boys. I know that the Lobos were kind of, messing around with the New Mexico State team we thought they would handle. But underdogs at San Jose State? We for real about that? I mean, Jason. I know Jason's a huge Cover 3 podcast listener. Jason, if you want to be on that Wisconsin list, you can't be losing to San Jose State on Friday night. I think that this is where the Lobos rise up. I'm going to go New Mexico State plus 2.5.
Ooh, don't hate it.
I'm gonna stay in the state here. Wait, anybody else in this game?
No, I've got one more for Friday night.
I just got to check the weather here real fast, just to be sure.
If it's in San Diego, it'll be 69 and partly cloudy.
We're actually going to Tampa.
Okay.
Ooh.
Arkansas job is open. Oklahoma State job is open. Virginia Tech job is open. I think at least one of Florida or Auburn are going to open. Style points don't hurt if you're in a job search. I think GoLesh runs it up on Charlotte, who lost their quarterback, Connor Harrell. Give me USF minus 27.5 full game.
All right. mean, I like that. I got one more for Friday. All right, let's go to CBS Sports Network, Snapdragon Stadium.
Let's go.
Line
69 and partly cloudy.
Line too little. Line too little. Give me San Diego State. I'll lay these points. Now, I understand they are coming back from DeKalb, right? As we detailed in our PNC Brilliantly Boring Wins of the Week, San Diego State Aztecs getting that look. But I don't think that Colorado State changing play callers is going to change the overall trajectory and direction of this Colorado State football team. I think San Diego State's starting to build a little bit of confidence, something that they haven't had inside that building here for a minute. They have the opportunity to improve to 4-1, while Colorado State is just really in a bad place. This was, I think, 5.5, 6. Are we going to get 6 still, or do I have to go 6.5?
I get you 6.
All right, I'll take
6.
I'll take 6. San Diego State -6 against Colorado State.
Don't hate it.
Anything else for Friday night?
They've played really well. Colorado State has been very disappointing.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is not a, like, I don't like to assume that I have the true beat of what's going on inside the building at Colorado State. What I do understand is the vibes of everything around, especially in direct proximity to that, is not good. So I'm not going to have confidence this is the rise up and throw a haymaker. This is buying into San Diego State under a touchdown in a decent spot.
Did Colorado State make a mistake firing Mike Bobo? That's what Georgia fans want to know. Maybe they need to go backwards to go forwards.
It's there for you. I mean, Jay Norvell got it at Nevada, right? But then you also go back and you're like, okay, well, Romeo Doubs is unguardable in the NFL. No wonder he was, dominant in the Mountain West. Okay. All right. Start put some pieces together. But yeah. All right. Coming up on the other side, we turn our attention to Saturday, beginning with some of the headliners, which include a Florida State-Miami game that the Knoll boys have already fired on. But we've got more bets on that and more next.
Saturday kicks off at noon, and it's big time. First, Air Force and Navy face off in Annapolis. Then it's big time at the Rose Bowl when UCLA hosts Penn State.
Back here on the Cover 3 podcast as we continue to roll through our Week 6 locks. We turn our attention to some of the big games coming up on Saturday, starting in the noon slate with the first game of a double header on CBS. The Commander-in-Chief Trophy competition is underway. Air Force going to play Navy, and the Plains find themselves as double-digit dogs. Navy 11.5, 12.5, over under 51 or 52 and some change. Who's got a lock?
Anybody?
I do.
Anybody have a lock on this Service Academy game?
Take the floor.
Hey, are we doing this, Tom?
I don't know what you're doing. I would love to hear.
We're going under 52.5. I don't love Air Force's secondary. I don't know how much that matters in a game against Navy.
I'm so happy to hear that. I thought you were going over. You were geeking me the entire damn week. Yes, lock agreement.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Stop me if you've heard this one before, but since 2005, unders in games between the service academies are 47, 12, and 1. Yeah, like Bud just mentioned, the Air Force defense stinks, but they gave up points to Hawaii. Hawaii plays a very different style than what Navy's going to play. Air Force's defense faces the same Navy offense pretty much every single day in practice. If there is an offense that this team is capable of stopping, it's the one they're used to facing. So yeah, the under, this is way too high. Last year, in fact, the last 7 games between service academies, so going back to the 2022 Army-Navy game, the average total has been 34.6 points. We're getting 52.5 here. So, yeah, let's do it.
Love it.
Let's go.
All right, Danny, anything here?
Are you?
Oh, I'm going to pay my respects.
Okay.
I'm going to respectfully enjoy this game.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have a lock on this one. On into the afternoon slate, where among the other offerings we have Vanderbilt making a trip to Tuscaloosa. Ooh, boy, we talked about this game a lot on Big Game Breakdown. Now we've done a detailed breakdown, so now we got to know who's got a lock.
I do.
Me too. You go first.
Are there any 50? Yeah, there's a 55. There's two 55s out there. Over 55.
You ain't saying on. Yeah, come on now.
Yeah,
throw that. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Like Vandy can score. I think they can score on Alabama, and Pavi's either scoring points for Vandy or he's going to score points for Alabama. And I'm pretty certain Alabama could score quite a bit here. So, over.
You guys got anything you want to add? Because I've got to play on this game too, but I don't want to.
So do I. But go ahead. I just took one.
Oh, you've got a 2-for-1 special?
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. All right. So, also, Vandy's been a big over team. They've been crushing their team totals. You go to the over margin per game. You're like, oh, good. Now, granted, over margin per game heavily skewed by them exercising some demons against Georgia State. I realize that small sample size and those things, but I think that this is not as we said all week, I don't think this is an offense that has to go super slow. I think they are confident enough to handle their business and trade paint, and are more than happy to go out there and just keep throwing punches against this Alabama team, which, look, man, there is an aspect of this where I don't think that they are going to lose focus after beating Georgia, but there is a physical, emotional release that comes after a game like that. So even if it's just a fraction of a step slow, that could be a difference maker against this Vanderbilt team.
I'm along the same line of thought as you guys. I'm playing it a little differently though. Give me the Alabama team total over 33.5, because I do think Vandy will be able to score and move the ball against Alabama. I'm not as confident in that as I am in that I believe Alabama will be able to score points against this Vanderbilt defense, because I think that Alabama, as we talked about this in the Big Game Breakdown, I think they're much better equipped to throw the ball this year than they were last year with Jalen Milroe. And I think that that's something that Vanderbilt's going to have a more difficult time stopping than they had to deal with last year. And even then last year, they still gave up 35 points. So, yeah, team total over 33.5.
I'm sure you guys have seen our notes. Vanderbilt is 1-17 versus Alabama in Tuscaloosa all time. Their only win back in 1984. Vanderbilt is 1-61 on the road versus AP top 10 teams all time. But you got to win by more than 10.5, which the Crimson Tide will.
Ooh.
Lay the points 42-24. I think Alabama easily goes over that total you just gave. I do think Vanderbilt will score some in this game. I don't know if it's through the air. Probably hit a big play or two, but this is one where Bama sort of reasserts itself. The best thing that happened to Kalen DeBoer for his team was what happened last year. That's the only wake-up call they need. Diego Pavia is out there running his mouth, which he always has, and he's always been able to cash those checks. I don't know. This one I think might bounce in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, clip that. Barton, clip that.
No, don't clip it for Barton. I don't want to be doing that to Barton.
Clip that. He said that Diego Pavia bounces checks.
No, I said he hasn't yet.
Hey, Pavia Mafia, what's the drive from Tuscaloosa to Tallahassee?
I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. Trust me, would love it.
Also in a robust afternoon slate, we've got Texas going to play Florida. Lots of sort of competing sides to this, where I don't think Texas is necessarily thrilled with the way that things have gone. Florida certainly not at 1-3. Small line, maybe just from a vibes perspective, but I got a lock. You mind if I just grab this one? First half under 20.5.
Ooh.
Which game was this?
Texas, Florida.
Texas, Florida.
On the
It's,
off chance,
369.
on the off chance that Texas has a lead and Florida lets go of the rope. Because, Bud, did you mention on the big? Yeah, I don't want to give away like your numbers or whatever, but like you mentioned that even with how much this has moved, that perhaps it maybe has not even moved enough. But as I was going through and I was trying to like visualize and build out the game, I still think under is the right side. But on the off chance that Florida lets go of the rope and Texas sees an opportunity to start building some confidence, just like get into a little bit of rhythm. But I'm going with the Gators defense to fight early on. So it's, crazy low number. I understand, but that's the sweat that I think I want. It's just the first 30 minutes.
I will say this, like FanDuel, I think has been really, really good this year with their openers. I think they are much sharper than they used to be with these. They did open this 51.5 and now it's 41.5. Like this is a 10-point move.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. Like for a game that doesn't have weather, obviously there's a game in Nebraska I'm sure we'll talk about that has, mid-20s wins. So that makes sense. And that only moved like 8.
Anybody else got to play on this one?
I thought about Florida at 7. Most of the 7s are pretty juiced.
I don't want anything to do with this game, boys. It's just
SEC needs Texas to win here.
Yeah.
By the way, like needs it.
Yeah.
Like if I'm forced to watch this game, I only want it to be because it's like a good close game. I don't want to have to be worrying about a lock for this slop fest.
I kind of want to take the over.
Ooh.
It's like an overcorrection. It's an overcorrection. That 10-point swing. And for what Chip said, if there is a quit factor, do they air it out a little bit? Are able to get some big plays in the second half? But man, it's got to be close to Texas getting 30+ points in this one. I'll stay away. I'm going to use some discipline. Discipline Danny's back. And I'm 0 for back in any bet with the Gators involved in it. So I'll stay away from it.
All right. We'll keep it moving. Also in the afternoon slate, it is big time on CBS. Penn State traveling out to the Rose Bowl to take on UCLA. We got to change an offensive coordinator for UCLA. Will it lead to different results? And what does Penn State do after losing in double overtime at home on Saturday night? Who's got a lock? UCLA team total under 12.5.
That's what that was one thing I was considering. Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, we are going to be dialed in to Brad and Gary and Jenny Dell for all 4 quarters. Because when you take a team total under 12.5, buddy, you better be locked in the whole time. We got to show culture, Penn State, because when the backups come in, we need you fighting hard to make sure that they don't get into the end zone. You can have 1 touchdown. You can have 1 field goal, but there is not another score that we can allow beyond those 2 events. You can allow 4 field goals, sure, but we prefer that not to be as that sweaty. UCLA team total under 12.5, 4 quarters of being locked in on the Rose Bowl on CBS, America's most watched network, the network of stars.
So you're saying UCLA might have a half share of points and then any kind of injection of private capital won't be coming on time?
I foresee a 42-10 situation. Penn State's got the backups in on defense. UCLA's got the ball in the 4th quarter. They drive to the 30-yard line. And with 3 seconds left, out comes the field goal team. And Chip's just like, oh, no.
Could happen. It could happen. All right. Let's anything else here? No? Oh, wow, that's weird. All right, let's keep it moving. Doak Campbell Stadium, Tallahassee, Saturday night. First time in about a decade we've had both these teams as ranked teams. 70th meeting overall, and many of those have been of the variety where they are both ranked. So big time, big stakes. Florida State, of course, looking to bounce back from the loss against Virginia. Miami coming out of an off week, undefeated, up in the top 5. So who's got? Oh, all right, we already got 2 overs. Do y'all have anything else on this game bet wise?
I do.
I've got something.
And there's a lot of love on the show today. We've got a lock unity. We've got lock agreements. Everybody's all excited. We're going to Tallahassee for this one. And there's going to be a bar fight at Madison Social because I am taking the under 54.5. This line is moving too much.
Fight.
You can get 55.
Oh, yes, I will then. Maybe we can get ourselves a happy little middle and everybody wins. But I just think this game's going to come down to dictating tempo. And I think Miami has a better shot of doing that. So I think Florida State's going to get points on the board. Like, I don't think this is going to be like a blowout. I really don't. I just think that Florida State's going to have trouble finding consistency. So they might pop a couple big plays, get some points up there, but I just don't think they're going to be able to get the tennis match going that I feel like they need to really pull off the upset here. So I think it'll be a lower scoring game, more in like that 27 to 24 kind of range.
I went 33-31 Canes. Just like I think Castellano is either scoring for FSU or he's scoring for Miami. Like he's not a throw it away on fourth down type guy. He's a force the issue guy for better or worse.
Self-care Saturday from a locks perspective, which of course is really where most of my passion is. Like, what is your bias? I root for me, right? I don't really root for teams. I root for me. I root to be right. I don't want anything more than about 15 minutes of this game, from an emotional perspective. Very much looking forward because what I think this game is? I think this game's going to come down to a muffed punt. Like, I think this game is going to come down to a missed field goal. This is going to come down to something stupid. We're going to go to the ACC review room and see whether or not a knee was down or not. I mean, we're going to be
so cool. Let's look at this.
We're going to be talking about whether Al Riveron is or is not in the bag for Miami, just like we did after, Miami. And like Al's like very open and like transparent. He's doing a great job of being able to chair that. But I just think that at the end of this, it frightens me. So I'm going to go with Florida State first quarter plus a half a point. Miami coming out of an off week, right? First true road environment. Florida State, probably was ready for the game 3 days later. Like, you go through recovery and they just want to get back out there after the way that things ended in Charlottesville. So to be able to think about, do I trust Miami first true road game to be able to start hot versus the building's going to be rocking? Gus probably has that first 15 dialed in. And Mario, he does want this to be a heavyweight fight. He wants this to be body blows. I don't see them taking a lot of risks right out the jump. So Florida State first quarter plus a half a point, Noles lead or tie game after 15 minutes gets me the winner I need. And then I can just enjoy it. And when this ultimately does come down to something stupid at the end, we will talk about it on the Instant Reaction Show at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, but it will not impact my my overall locks enjoyment. So that's where we're going there. Florida State, better start. They win the first quarter or it's tied. Florida State or draw for those out there.
The double chance.
Very soccer review.
Florida State double chance in the first quarter. Let's go. All right. Coming up on the other side, we open up the card to all of the Week 6 picks and more next.
Only CBS Sports can bring you big time during the heart of Saturday afternoons. It's big time.
It's big time. It's big time. It's big time.
On CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Back here on the Cover 3 podcast, let's review the locks that we have on the board so far. Bud has Vanderbilt Bama over 55, Miami Florida State over 53.5, Air Force Navy under 52.5, South Florida minus 27.5. I'm on Vanderbilt Bama over 55, New Mexico plus 2.5, San Diego State minus 6, Texas Florida first half under 20.5, UCLA team total under 12.5, Florida State first quarter plus a half a point. Danny's on Vanderbilt Bama over 55, Miami Florida State over 53.5, Alabama minus 10.5, Sam Houston minus 1.5, and Tom's got Alabama team total over 33.5. Miami, Florida State under 55.5. Air Force, Navy under 52.5. And Tom, you and I both were 6-4, but you've got the honors as the season leader. So take us where you would like to go.
Let's see, where do I want to start? We'll start with Notre Dame and Boise State. We've talked about it. Notre Dame has no room for error, nor do they have much left on their schedule to impress anybody with by just simply beating them. Notre Dame has to beat the hell out of them going forward. And Boise State, to me, we saw them lose their opener against South Florida. Turns out Ashton Genty was a big part of this team. They're still good. They're still one of the better teams in the Mountain West, but they're not the same team I think that they were last year. I think physically they are not going to really be able to keep up with Notre Dame. And as we saw last week against Arkansas, if Notre Dame has a chance to make it look more impressive than they do and do stuff like running fake punts while up 30 points in the third quarter, Notre Dame's going to do it. So I think this 20.5 is a little too little. Give me Notre Dame minus 20.5.
You know, that's really serendipitous because this is a show that moves fast. It's got a lot of twists and turns, and you've called out that Notre Dame game, and I think that's a good opportunity for us to hear another way to wager on this one.
Hey, whose office is that?
Yeah.
Oh, the people give it up. Club Kansas back. Mackenzie Brooks coming to you live from Danny Kanell's office.
Guys, I mean, this office is empty quite often now, so I think I'm just going to start. I don't think I've seen Danny here once outside of Saturdays.
I was there yesterday. Where were you?
That's the one day I don't come in the office. That's my one day space. And I host a college football pick show on CBS Sports Network at 12 o'clock for those keeping track at home.
There you go. Okay, Kens. Tom just turned his attention to Notre Dame. If I know you like I do, there's another way to wager on this. The truly your comfy blanket of college football wagering. Are we going back to the well?
We are going back to the well until the wheels fall off. Death, taxes, Notre Dame team total overs. We will never not play this until they do not hit it. This is the prime position for them. All they ever want is style points. It used to be Ole Miss last year. It honestly still could be Ole Miss, but Notre Dame is one of those teams that no matter how much they're up by, everything Tom was saying, I think they can go over this 41.5. We've played it from 31.5 to 35.5, 37.5. Now it's up against Boise, but Boise has a very large tackling problem, as you guys, I believe, were talking about before, and they allowed like 34 and 37 to teams like South Florida. So respectfully, I feel like this is a prime spot for Notre Dame to get all of their style points this season.
I mean, 41.5. I like it. It's also on my card as well. So I will real quickly let the children sing. All right, Kenton, you got one more that'll get us to a nice pivot point. What's your next one?
Yeah, a nice little underdog sprinkle here. Not even a sprinkle. They're not even that big of dogs, but I like Iowa State on the road to take it home against Cincinnati. I do not like that Cincinnati not only lost to Nebraska, gave up 20 points to Bowling Green, but also gave up 34 points to Kansas. Like, I do think that Iowa State will be able to run up some numbers on this team. And Iowa State has been a covering machine on the road in conference in general as well. So I feel like Cincinnati, we're giving them a little too much flowers for their shootout situation that they got into with Kansas. That honestly was a red flag to me. So I like Iowa State here.
Listen, we stay intellectually honest. We haven't gotten a chance to talk about that game again. This worked out very well because I am going with Cincinnati right here. Iowa State does not have a starting kicker. Iowa State does not have a backup kicker. We are going to a walk-on who just delivered the pizzas to the team on Wednesday night. Our cornerback issue is very problematic. I see an Iowa State team going on the road to the NIP where the Bearcats need a good win. And listen, when you're Scott Satterfield, you want to be able to call this a top 15 win. And this is a chance to get a top 15 win. I'm going to take Cincinnati and I'm going to lay the 1.5. But don't worry, Mackenzie, we need to check their math. But the tailgate says every time I picked against Iowa State, they're 9-0. So
you know what?
It's just how I drew it up.
Like all time.
You know what? We have a lock agreement here.
With
Except it is not with Chip. It's with Club Ken's on this one.
Oh!
I tried to tell you this. Chip, I tried to tell you, you're so obsessed with the kickers being out. I was an all-county kicker. It's not that hard to find some soccer player to come over and put a couple extra points through the uprights. Plus, Matt Campbell is the best when he is an underdog, and you and the rest of the country are still not respecting one of the best teams out there. It may not be pretty, but they find ways to get it done. I'm with Ken's, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win the game outright.
One more fact here that I found. Cincinnati is 0-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 4 games versus ranked teams. That does take us back to 2021, but just something to be said there.
That's
I
right.
will say, Ken's, it's risky for you to show up and make picks because just by simply not picking, you were crushing the guest competition on this show this year.
Because the dentist is tanking.
The dentist is 2-7. Chris, we had on last week, our winner for charity. He went 4-6. So you're really putting your first place spot on the line right now.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
You could have just kneeled it out for the rest of the season.
Guys, have fun in Tallahassee. I'm not going to say I'm not jealous because I am. And I hope you guys have fun.
All right. Thanks, Mackenzie.
Also, one sprinkle that I don't want on my actual card, but just want to get it off my chest. I do think Maryland is alive to beat Washington outright this weekend at home coming off a bye week.
You're not going to get pushed there. All right. Thank you, Mackenzie. Have fun. All right. Let's go. Danny, why don't you take us where you want to go?
Can we?
I will go.
Does Danny just casually drop that he was the all-county kicker?
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, can we unpack that a little bit more?
I wanted to unpack it on HQ Spotlight, where I was like, "What? Like, what is it? Is it the private school division? I mean, is this?"
Yes, it 100% was the private school division.
Wait,
because
is Aquinas
that's where else I made all county as a punter too, because that was the restriction. So I was not allowed to play football until I wasn't allowed. My dad didn't want me to get hurt. So I wasn't allowed to play football till my junior year. And the stipulation was I was only allowed to play quarterback. Well, everybody in our team went both ways because we only had 24 guys on our team. So everybody went offense, defense. So I was like, come on. I was like, I got to help out in some other way. So my junior year, I did not kick. We had a good kicker. My senior year had to take over the kicking duties, but I punted both years and made all county the senior year. Broward County, small 1A and 2A division. So we were 1A. So I did take down some loser that was a 2A that couldn't beat me out.
What other school? So like Aquinas is not in there. You guys were Newman or
no? God, no. Are you kidding me? Aquinas would have beat us 140 to nothing.
Yeah.
It was one of those lopsided games.
What schools are?
They did try to get me to go to St. Thomas though.
Private.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. I was like, because Danny, truthfully, I mean, we're in the part of the live show. Like, we'll stack Danny up against his contemporaries in Florida State history. But like, there's something that is true Americana about like Danny was the best athlete at his school. Would have played every single team, every single position if they would have allowed him to do it. So yeah, of course you were. You know, I mean, the true Jim Thorpe of Broward County.
Yes. That was great.
Also,
I actually ran cross country in 8th grade.
And you ran cross country?
The best part about it was you were able to play. So it was really good for my development because I was able to play varsity sports in 8th grade.
Right.
So like I was able to play varsity basketball and baseball in 8th grade, which was a ton of fun. And it was good because I got to play against better competition. I loved playing all 3 sports. Every parent that's listening out there, stop the stupid specialization.
Yeah.
Having kids only be pitchers from the time they're 10 years old. Let them play all the sports they want to and have fun.
I will say, to your point about extra points, like maybe it'll be different in a packed stadium, but in practice, I used to kick extra points all the time too. Like it's not that hard to kick an extra point. Now a 35, 40-yard field goal gets a little more difficult without practice, but extra points really wasn't that difficult.
I mean, McAfee's field goal guys are like hitting it like 70% this year.
Those ringers. I'm just saying.
Listen, this is we got some tight timetables for some of us, but I mean, are we microwaving the balls, right? Isn't it? Aren't the things you can do to the kicking balls that sort of make them fly a little bit far? You throw them in the laundry machine, pressurized weights and things. Yeah, they don't.
Astros situation.
It's an NFL. That's like an NFL story right now is why are the field goals even longer? They said because they took out the requirement to turn in your kicking balls beforehand. So the team gets to hold on to them right until it's time to boot it.
Last week they subbed out a kicker and it looked like one of the Grammatica's other kids. I mean, how many kids does this guy have? It's in there.
All right, Danny, take us where you want to go.
All right. I'm going to go to an ACC matchup. We just saw Virginia pull off the upset of the season in the ACC, knocking off Florida State. Virginia's offense, they look really good. Now they got to go against Louisville, who their defense has actually been playing pretty good. But we've got two of the top 3 offenses in the ACC. I think you're going to see points. Virginia averages 45 a game. Louisville averages 38 a game. Give me the over 61.5.
Well, we can give you 60 and a half.
Oh, even better.
So.
No, he's so confident
like
he wants the 61.
I do. Is it still 6.5? We don't have any 7s out there, do we?
I kind of like Virginia to keep this thing rolling, have a classic tight game.
Yeah, there's a 7, Chip.
I'll take Virginia plus 7.
Okay.
I don't know if Virginia just goes and totally has a letdown, sure, but I think that the screws on Louisville's car are not really tight right now. There's some things that are rattling, and I think that that's enough of a window for a team that has a little bit of confidence for them to maybe be able to go in and threaten for an upset. Yes, Brett. Brett. Louisville did need a +4 in the turnover margin to be able to get out with that 1-score win against Pitt.
Super lucky. It's always lucky when you get.
That's kind of what you get against Eli Holstein, by the way.
Jeff Brom game planned that. Yeah. All right, Bud. Where do you want to go?
Well, I'm going to go to one that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I think it's a schedule disparity thing, right? Like UCF could have lost to Jacksonville State. They played UNC, which UNC might be in the running for, like, with all due respect to Chip, like, might be in the running for the worst P5 team.
Yeah.
Or P4 team. Kansas has played, I think, a very good Missouri team and was, fairly close with them at points in that game. They've played a Cincinnati team that I think should be undefeated right now, to be honest. If they don't throw that ridiculous pick at the end of the game against Nebraska, I think they do beat the Huskers in Lincoln. Like, I don't think UCF really has any good games, and I think Kansas. I don't mind Kansas losing a shootout to Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is a different class than this rebuilding UCF team. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 3.5 points here in Orlando with Kansas. I think they are. I think this should be like 6.5, not 3.5.
So I just want to hold on. So you're saying that the 33rd team in the NFL would be the 68th team in the Power 4?
Correct. Yeah.
All
right. Math checks.
But when the team, thankfully, Tar Heel 24/7 does a great job. Andrew Jones is on it.
Mm-hmm.
He's already reported on some players that have left the program. And I think when the team takes the field on Saturday, when they would get your binoculars out, we're going to find some more players who potentially have left the program. So it's I don't see the turnaround happening coming out of the off week. But,
so are you laying it?
No, I don't want any part of Self-Care Saturday. I want zero part of Clemson, North Carolina.
This is the kind of game Clemson flexes on an outgunned opponent and is like, all right, we're back, baby.
Sure, but I don't want to trust on that. I've also seen Clemson fans being like, if Klubnik doesn't have it by the 3rd series, put in Vizina. I don't care. That's how
Did you guys see what Clemson's updated win total is on FanDuel?
It was 7.5.
It is 6.5, juiced pretty heavily to the under.
Well, they already have 3 losses, right?
Yeah,
I know, but if, to your point about, hey, they're supposed to put the foot down, I would think so too, but they haven't shown it yet.
This is the easiest game left on their schedule, or do they have one of those Sunbelt type teams before they play Gamecocks?
They should have Furman, I think, coming up a little bit later.
Yeah, they do.
So maybe the 2nd easiest team remaining?
When you look at Clemson's longest winning streaks, the Clemson's longest active winning streaks in their game notes, it's Furman, the Citadel, 7 straight against North Carolina.
Maybe this team figured it out on their bye. They're going to come back and they're going to be the Clemson we all expected. Well, at least Danny and Chip expected.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, nothing on that from me. I've just got one left. What's everybody else?
You fired through your card on that much. I've got 5 left.
All right, let's hear
Go,
it.
Tom.
I'm going to go with Kentucky plus 20.5 against Georgia. Georgia has not covered a spread yet this year. Georgia is, I think, slightly overrated in a lot of power ratings. Matchup wise, I mean, we've seen these two play really ugly close games before. We just see how Georgia typically approaches these non-headliner games. They're just looking to get out of there with the win. And also, Kentucky plays a ton of zone defense. And if you look at the splits for Gunnar Stockton when he's facing zone versus when he's facing man, pretty bleak, pretty stark difference in his performance. I don't think he's going to have a great game, and I think that'll affect the Georgia offense as a whole. So, yeah, I think it'll be lower scoring and uglyish. So give me the Wildcats plus 20.5.
Do you know who leads the country in the number of attempts of more than 20 yards in the air?
Is it
you would think it would be
Calzada?
a real fast-paced team, because they get a lot of attempts off.
Is it Calzada?
It's Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
they
whoever
are
is
chucking
playing
it
for
deep.
Kentucky.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, Bud, you know what happens? When you're in 3rd and 18, you got to throw it 20-plus yards down the field. You got to
throw the sticks.
Seriously.
I'll go. I have a play in that game too. I'll take the under for the game. Under 48.5.
like that. Close. Yeah. 13
Lower
12
starting
last
game. It's a noon kick. They're after emotional loss. Their defense will be fine. And Georgia's offense really hasn't had many games where they've just put up a ton of points yet. So I just think it'll be lower scoring.
You don't think Kirby's going to hit him with one of those? Like I've been wanting to put the pads on myself since Tuesday type speeches for this.
He might. Then they could break out for 40, and then it's 42-3, and we're still safe.
Guys, this is just going to happen. All right, college football right now. You're just going to see it.
Something else you should see is your dentist regularly. All right. Hope it's been impossible for me to get a read on this year. 2 good games after squeaking out wins versus Kentucky and Arkansas. I'm starting to buy in, but that is dangerous territory for me. Fortunately, they have a bye this week, so my cold streak betting on them can take a break. Instead, I will turn my attention to the Vanderbilt Commodores, where I have had much better luck. I'm very excited for this game, and while I'm sure Bama wants revenge, they are fresh off a tough away game at Georgia. Bama scored exactly 0 points in the second half for UGA. Ask me how I know. Did Kirby give Clark a nice blueprint? I'm dying to pick the doors here, but instead I'm going to go with an angle I feel a little more confident. I'm taking the Colgate-Palmolive 2-for-1 special here. Vandy team total over 21.5. Game total over 55.5.
If that's what you've got, why don't you just take Vandy plus the 10.5?
Well,
I mean, unless
because 45-28 gets you beat.
That's right. Yeah.
He is right. In games he's picked with Vandy, he is 2-1.
Okay.
He is 0-6 in any game with Ole Miss.
I don't know that Vandy's pass defense is a weakness. I do know they have not faced anybody who's competent throwing the football so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember, Sellers missed all but, he threw 7 passes. We'll see.
DK, how many you got left?
I got one more. I got another under. Wisconsin at Michigan under 43.5 was the last I saw it. I don't know where it is currently. That was earlier this morning. Wisconsin, I don't think they're going to put up much of a fight. I'm really worried about Luke Fickell. Michigan's defense is legit. I think Michigan will run the football. It's kind of what they want to work on. It's what they are. It's who they are. I think this is a pretty much controlled game for Michigan. So I'm going to say under an already low total.
Lock agreement.
Woo, baby.
All that stuff applies to me as well. And the other thing I have noticed is I don't know what Billy Edwards' situation is yet for this game. He started their last game, did not finish it. Luke Fickell said that maybe they let him, that he put a little too much trust in him saying he was ready. Maybe that was his blah, blah, blah. Either way, I feel like Wisconsin is slowing things down on offense, whether it's Edwards or whether it's Neal in there. They are looking to get these games over with quick. And I think that's going to play here. So under.
I think O'Brien got first team reps.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that makes me even more confident because they are really they are bleeding that clock. They are handing the ball off.
Wait, you mean O'Neal?
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry,
Danny
O'Neal. Yes.
Danny O'Brien
Billy
flashbacks?
Edwards. Yeah.
All right. Bud?
All right. Can we play an over in a weather game? I think so.
There are plenty of arguments for that. Yeah.
Yeah. This has moved a lot. I do think that Childs and Raiola can still move the football even in the weather. Give me over 48 in Lincoln. I mean, this opened 55.5.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's a little bit too much of a move. I'll play the over 48.
I mean, turnovers also right there to be able to set up short fields. You know, I like that. That was one of those just on matchup. I was like, Michigan State, Nebraska. Seems like an over. But so I see where your head's at right there.
I also don't think Michigan State's D-line is the type of D-line that's going to give this Nebraska offensive line problems.
They can't expose the issues that we saw against Michigan.
And Nebraska's D-line doesn't give anyone problems. So I think we'll have some clean pockets here.
It's good for Aiden Childs, play those video games. All right, last one for
40 to 50 mile an hour winds, by the way, then I don't like this. But from what I was seeing, it was mid-20s. I'm sure we'll have some gusts.
I'm sure there'll be gusts, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, does that at least call for
It's gonna be windy in Lincoln.
Last one for me until we hit sprinkles. I'm worried that I'm going to hear a full readout of an injury report right now that someone's going to throw this in my face, but Texas Tech minus 10.5 seems too small.
Yeah,
same. Are you going to lock that up too?
Yeah.
If
I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Because is it in 11.5, then it moved down to 10.5, and who knows? Maybe somebody is in on this, but I'm just not. I think Texas Tech is a good football team, a capital G good football team, and Houston played around and nearly got beat by Oregon State. They're coming back from Corvallis. Texas Tech coming out of a week off. Connor Wegman looks great when he has time, and I just don't think he's going to have time against these Texas Tech edge rushers. I like Texas Tech to win this by 2 touchdowns.
I agree.
I've got 3 plays left. I'll go through them pretty quickly here. I'm not convinced that Texas A&M's defense is good just because they stopped Auburn. I think everybody stops Auburn. And I think 14.5 points is a little too much against Mississippi State because their offense has looked much more competent. And we saw them last week against Tennessee. They were able to move the ball. I think they will be able to move the ball against the Aggies. So give me Mississippi State plus 14.5.
Ooh, like that.
Another high-scoring game. We talked about it. I'm never comfortable for Cannon Week because these games get stupid, but they also get high scoring. Remember what happened last season when Purdue and Illinois played? Illinois' defense didn't exactly they did a good job of slowing down USC. They did a better job than anybody else has to this point, but they didn't really stop them very much. They just slowed them down. So give me Illinois Purdue over 55.5. And then finally, I mean, this is a check of your pride right here. This is, are you a Big Ten program or not?
Oh, yeah, on the lake.
We're going to the lakefront, Lake Michigan. Shannon or Larry and Shannon Martin or Sharon, I don't know, whatever. The Martin Family Stadium, the practice facility that's now playing its home for Northwestern football. The Northwestern Wildcats, a Big Ten football program, are 10.5-point home favorites to ULM.
What are you using for home field advantage during that ball game?
I don't need home field advantage. I need a pride check. I need a cup check for your.
I need you to be a Big Ten football team.
I'm gonna smack you in the groin, and there better be something there because a 10.5-point spread against ULM, a team that lost by 73 to Alabama. I am not saying Northwestern is Alabama, but for the love of God. If that revenue sharing's coming, how much of it do you want? How much of that private equity money do you want, Northwestern? Because I'm telling you right now, if you don't cover 10.5 against ULM, you ain't getting a damn dime from anybody.
Oh, Tom.
So
you're going to hate me in a minute.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy. I got one more.
Okay.
I got one more.
right.
Mackenzie's like, how old is she? Like 17? She's too young to have noticed some of the history they're throwing out there.
For all of the legal reasons, she is not.
No, she is not. She's older than that.
She's got to be at least, what, like 25?
She's older than that. But when she hangs out at my house and hangs out with my daughters, I mean, it literally feels like she's my daughter's age because she's not that much older than him.
She's braiding hair and making TikToks in the other room.
Yes. How have we not, like, she's too young to remember. We've seen this story before. So this is a little bit of agreement with her money line sprinkle. That was all, hey, this is going to be a trendy one because Washington, they have to get on a plane and travel across the country. Have we not seen this story before when Maryland gets out to a hot start and they beat some awful teams? It's like, in fact, I think there was a time they even got in the top 25 and Iowa came to town and just smoked them. I think Washington is a really good team. I think they're better. I think this is Maryland's biggest test. Malik Washington has been awesome, but I think Washington's defense will be enough to get it done. And Damon Williams gets back on track. Give me the Huskies laying 6.5.
Might have more on that in a little bit. All right, let's review all of our week 6 locks on the board. Here's what we got so far. Vanderbilt, Alabama. Bud has Vanderbilt, Alabama over 55. Miami, Florida State over 53.5. Air Force, Navy under 52.5. USF minus 27.5. Kansas minus 3.5. Michigan State, Nebraska over 48. Texas Tech minus 10.5. I'm on. Vanderbilt, Alabama over 55. New Mexico plus 2.5. San Diego State minus 6. The Texas, Florida first half under 20.5. Cincinnati minus 1.5. UCLA team total under 12.5. Texas Tech minus 10.5. Florida State first quarter plus 0.5 point. Notre Dame team total over 41.5. Virginia plus 7. Danny's on. Vanderbilt, Alabama over 55.5. Miami, Florida State over 53.5. Alabama minus 10.5. Sam Houston minus 1.5. Iowa State plus 1.5. Wisconsin, Michigan under 43.5. Virginia, Louisville over 60.5. Kentucky, Georgia under 48.5. Washington minus 6.5. Tom's on. Alabama team total over 33.5. Miami, Florida State under 55.5. Air Force, Navy under 52.5. Notre Dame minus 20.5. Kentucky plus 20.5. Wisconsin, Michigan under 43.5. Mississippi State plus 14.5. Illinois, Purdue over 55.5. And Northwestern minus 10.5. And those were the locks sponsored by Cash App. As you heard me say at the top of the show, new Cash App users can use our code to get free money. Use our code COVER3, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 right into your account. Thank you, Cash App. And coming up on the other side, our money line sprinkles for week 6 and more next.
Name's Conrad Harrigan. Family man. And if you cross my family, well, you'd better pray.
Mobland, new series streaming March 30th on Paramount Plus.
Back here on the Cover 3 podcast. And now it is time for the Moneyline Sprinkles brought to you by Cash App. Reset. And now it is time for the Moneyline Sprinkles brought to you by FanDuel. Play your game. Bud sprinkling it again. Mentioned it at the top of the show. He cashes Cal plus 205, Washington State plus 185 last week. Chip bringing it home with Oregon, but can't get it done with Mississippi State, Auburn and App State as well. Not doing it. Danny gets Alabama to the window at plus 135. He was also on Mississippi State and Washington. And Tom gets Hawaii plus 210, but TCU, UCF, and Kentucky not quite there. Bud remains the Sprinkle King, 7-7 on sprinkles, up 12.9 units. Danny up 2.2 units. Tom down 2.6 units. And Chip at 5-16, down 7.1 units. All right, Bud.
You know what this show has lacked? Music. Play mine.
Oh my God.
It's time for sicko mode. Let's go. I'm a little bit lower on some of the teams in the bottom of the Sun Belt. If things go wrong, they could be like UMass UConn. That's kind of like sicko mode of a sicko mode.
Whew, man, these are like dogs left in the shelter for a while, man. Ugly. Let's do it. 324, Temple plus 205.
Huh.
341, Wake plus 200 to
In
go
Lane
in
Stadium.
And beat Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
339, Boston College plus 200. Maybe get a couple cookies thrown your way by Pitt. You know, I do like the quarterback there. I think Bill O'Brien can kind of get some stuff done. 353, ULM plus 380 to go and win on the Lake. They don't pass the ball anyway. Any kind of win should not affect them. Just run it down their throat.
Bud's trying to get Northwestern thrown out to open up a spot for Florida State.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. At $5 a viewer, they need all the ULM they can get, man. All right. And 401, Nevada plus 440 to go and take out Fresno. I just don't think like two defensive type teams there. Get him, Wolfpack.
I can get you 220 on Wake, by the way.
I'll take that.
Okay, let's see. I guess Danny.
I am also on Boston College plus 200 to get it done against Pitt. Pitt blew. They lost to West Virginia. They blew a 17-point lead last weekend. It's the ACC. The ACC is going to do ACC things. So Boston College is going to win that game. I got one other. Said I'd back the Gators several times this year. Over, but you know what? I have not taken them on a sprinkle. Give me the Gators to win the game outright. I do think they either get blown out, and we're talking about Billy Napier getting fired, or they win the game outright. Plus 215. The Gators pull off the upset.
It would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious. Yeah,
It would be
hilarious. All right, Tom.
I also agree with Bud on one. There's a reason I know I can get him Wake plus 220 because I am taking Wake plus 220. Virginia Tech favored by nearly a touchdown at home right now. What planet are we living on, ladies and gentlemen? Give me Cal at home plus 130 going up against a Duke team that was on the road playing Syracuse last week and dog walked them, but they didn't have their starting quarterback, and now they've got to fly for a second straight week all the way across the country to face the Bears. I think Cal's been better at home. Give me Cal 130. And then Danny likes Washington minus 6.5. Well, good for you, buddy, because we're on Maryland plus 210. You know, you talked about history, Maryland getting off to hot starts and falling apart. Here's a little history lesson for you. Washington was off to a hot start last year until they traveled across the country to play a game on the East Coast against Rutgers.
Oh, the Rutgers game. Oh,
yeah.
My God.
So give me Maryland plus 210.
Give me New Mexico State plus 120. We are watching all four quarters to see our Aggies come home. We are tweeting about that cover 3 appearance on the halftime show, and we are going to make sure New Mexico State brings it to the pay window. I already got Virginia plus 7. I was just going to leave it as a sprinkle, but it's there. So I've got Virginia, I think, was it 205, 210, somewhere around there?
Yeah, I can get you 205.
Okay, 205. Maryland plus 210. I am also on as well. And just as a sprinkle, if Scott Frost can tap into some bounce house magic at night, not a game that I felt comfortable handicapping, but vibes-wise, could I see UCF nabbing Kansas? I don't think Kansas is above at least the potential of that. So what's my best number for the Knights?
165.
You can get 170.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. Let's throw that one on the board as well. And those were the Moneyline Sprinkles brought to you by FanDuel. Play your game. All right. Good show, gentlemen.
Is there one that you guys thought about throwing on, but did
Sprinkles or locks?
Sprinkles?
Yeah.
Do they wear green?
No.
Okay.
They wear blue and they play on blue turf.
Oh.
Everybody thinks that Boise, like Notre Dame, is just going to run away with it. They're going to pile it on here.
Marcus Freeman is 1-6 against the spread against Group of 5 unranked, with 2 straight up losses. I don't know if Boise actually fits that category. Like, they're not really NIU type level, you know, but.
All right. Got to go to the airport. See you boys in Tallahassee.
See you guys.
And you can follow him on Twitter at Tom Fornelli. You can follow him at Bud Elliott 3. You can follow me at Chip_Patterson. Come and see us, Tallahassee. We'll be at Madison Social. Show starts at 3 p.m., but just come and hang out all afternoon, all night. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.